What's up, guys? We're here in AMC Town Square. We're chasing cinema.
Mr. James Hsu.
He's back from Buffalo.
Yeah. Thanks for holding down the fort.
Toronto.
Yep.
We
and
did.
Columbus.
You just
All over
jet
the
traveling to the East Coast.
I'm all over the place. Yeah, I went and visited the East Coast to get some Tim Hortons.
I love it, but we're here to talk about Pixar, Disney, Incredibles 2.
A movie that people have waited 12 years for. You know, a lot of people went back in the day. I don't know how big of a fan you were the first one. I really enjoyed The Incredibles, but it wasn't like one that stood out with me that I was like really anticipating a sequel. But then at CinemaCon, fast forward a few months back, they showed me the first 20 minutes. And I was all in after that moment. I thought it was a great opening sequence. It instantly brought back the characters to me, because I haven't revisited The Incredibles until tonight. Before I came here, I rewatched the first one, and it actually held up better than I remember.
Nice.
So yeah, I was going in this movie all in. What's your experience with The Incredibles?
Pumped up. They do The Incredibles better than they've done any Fantastic Four.
Yes.
And because it's animation and because they can think differently because it's from a different source, they can think of things that they haven't thought of in any of the Fantastic Fours.
Yeah.
So then it gives you really good ideas. Wow, what if they incorporated some of these things in the Fantastic Fours?
And to think that Incredibles was made at a time where superheroes movies weren't like they are now, where this seems like, oh, okay, we've seen these. Like, this is something we're familiar with. That wasn't the case back when they made the first Incredibles. And it still has a very unique story about superheroes, having this whole idea that hero or supers, as they call them in the movie, are illegal, and how it's kind of has this political background. Not something we've seen, and it's an interesting kind of world and dynamic. So, before we get into our review of Incredibles 2, I want to ask you, what did you think of the traditional Pixar short in the beginning of the film? Bow.
I was disappointed.
Really?
Yeah, I thought it was so cute right at the beginning, and his little bow growing.
No spoilers.
Loved it, and then I think the ending
didn't work for you.
Yeah, maybe I didn't understand it.
Okay.
And maybe you'll be able to explain to me. So I'm like, oh yeah, that's what okay. But yeah, it didn't. Still Paperman for me. Just.
Paperman. Well, Paperman is a favorite too. I really enjoyed this. I think it was really interesting. First of all, just character choice. Usually these movies all revolve around interesting characters, normally younger, and this time we have a mother figure who is kind of the helming of the story, and really about just letting go and how people see their children. Even though Bow starts off this big and only gets about this big, she still sees him as this cute, adorable little baby, and meanwhile it really represents something else who is older and things like that.
Okay, so he was never a Bow.
No.
Did you know that, Renee? It was never a Bow. It was always a boy.
Yeah, it was always him. But I think it also, interestingly enough, while that obviously speaks to that part of it, kind of just being symbolic. I think that was as far as a short that revolving around food. Really kind of went an extra mile to talk about
the food looked
Asian
great.
cuisine. It looked beautiful,
by the way.
But it also, I think, explains that how food is comfort for people, and also it kind of has this really extra meaning, and everything looks really well, and it supported her at a time when she really needed it, and obviously it's also what brings everything together at the end. With the box of donuts.
I'm such an idiot.
No, it's alright. It was pretty deep. I was pretty surprised. I actually really did like it though. I think it was more memorable than the past couple that we've seen. The Frozen short, which obviously not many people were fans of.
The 15-minute.
The 22-minute.
The 22-minute.
Yeah, and then I can't even remember what was before that. But I actually really liked Bow. Yeah, it was good.
No, all of a sudden I like Bow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, once it comes out and you rewatch it a few more times.
No, because I'll explain to you in a minute.
Okay.
No,
anyway, Incredibles 2.
Okay, so the reason why I think I didn't appreciate Bow, when I was watching Incredibles, I fell asleep.
Wow.
I was asleep for 95% of the movie.
Wow.
So last night...
You were out partying.
If you can call it that. But I was out till 2 in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then my first appointment was at 7. So I slept about 3 hours. And I didn't sleep the whole day. So I've been going out meetings all day. So that right when the movie started...
And there is something just not... There's not many places as comforting as a movie theater.
Exactly.
If it's not your own bed, the movie theater is a pretty good place to catch the disease.
I agree. And I just knocked out.
Oh,
and
that's a bummer.
Yeah, Ashley was next to me and she was awake the whole time. And I said I can't. And
you'll be back though to watch it, I'm sure.
100%.
Yeah. Well, did you catch anything, or were you out after
Yeah,
Bow?
I was watching. I was.
Did you see the opening sequence?
Yeah, it was great.
It was a really great opening sequence. I think. What interestingly enough, though, when I watched it at CinemaCon, I had not revisited Incredibles, and then rewatching it this time around, like we instantly pick up for where we left off of the last Incredibles film, and I didn't realize that until watching the last one today, or the first one today. I think that this movie really works on a lot of different levels. I think at the base level, you just have a really great family fun movie, right? Of course, there's the superhero element, and you can't take that element out of it. There are some great action pieces. There are some really wonderful visuals that are happening. But I think at the end of the day, everyone's really excited about Incredibles 2.
They love it.
So
the girls love it.
No, but I think that what you have here is just a really great family dynamic. You have all these really interesting characters, and of course you go back to the trope of can dad do mom's job, and that's a big part of this movie. Mr. Incredible kind of taking the back seat, not being the superhero that he wants to be, but helping out with the kids and everything like that. And I think that was a pretty touching part of the movie. I think the hero of the movie, though, hands down, goes to Jack Jack. I think Jack and learning what he could do. We're teased a little bit at the end of the first Incredibles. There have been some trailers that reveal about what Jack could do, but there's much more that isn't revealed. And there's a really great sequence with him and a raccoon that I think steals the show. I mean, it was just so funny and so charming and so cute. But overall, I think what you have here is a movie with a lot of heart. Brad Bird returns to something that I think a lot of people obviously wanted, and something that I didn't even know I wanted, that I'm glad that I have. Arguably one of the better films out of the summer. I would put it up there right now with Solo. Even though Solo's, obviously is mixed reviews, but not from us. We both really enjoyed it. I put this one up there too.
Solo.
I found the villain in the film, which I'm gonna mess up his name. Screen slave or something along those lines.
The play is a screensaver.
Yeah, something along those lines. In which anytime you look at a screen, but I think the look of the villain was great. I think some of the intentions of the villain was pretty awesome. I think there was just an interesting character aspect about it, and. Again, like I said, we see these Marvel movies and they're all so amazing, seeing these superheroes that we love growing up as comics, but The Incredibles still managed to give us kind of this fresh world and this fresh new look at how superheroes can interact, and especially this being a family and people growing. Violet in this film is obviously dealing with love issues. Jack is obviously not himself. Everyone is kind of adapting to who he is. Mr. Incredible finds his new role as kind of being the father, while Miss Incredible goes on her own adventure. Elastigirl goes on her own adventure. Overall, I think it was a great time. I think it was wholesome. I think it's a great compliment to the second. I think just right off the bat, I would prefer the second film just because I think there are some better action sequences, and I think overall, I just think it was more of a charming dynamic between everybody than the first film. Yeah.
I'll have to watch it to say I agree.
Yeah. No, I mean I think everyone will be very happy with it. It'd be hard to be disappointed in this.
I'm disappointed myself.
Yeah.
Maybe tell them a little about the end credit scene chasing. So I made an announcement in our theater. Hey guys, there's an end credit scene, so make sure you stay all the way to the very end. Was there a little glimmer?
A little tidbit
of life? Yes.
But nothing
like a Marvel end credit scene.
Yeah, which we were expecting. But there is a little something just to keep you, just a little reminder of something that happened in the film. But no, there is nothing. But it does leave the door open for a sequel, and obviously this movie's doing very well. I think pre-sales
145 or something
surpassed Finding Dory for the highest pre-sales for an animation film. So I would be shocked if we don't see Incredibles 3 anytime soon.
Well, we'll probably see that one in 10 years.
It's a good little break though.
Would you call this the best Pixar sequel since Toy Story 2?
Well,
did you enjoy
I love
Dory?
Toy Story 3. Can I throw that
no,
in there?
of the twos.
Just the twos? I like Finding Dory.
I forgot.
I
know
did
we watched it together.
I liked Finding Dory, but if you ask me right now, I can't say that I remember much of it. It kind of just, it was something that I thought was cute and fun. I don't know if I'll have to see. I think this is a movie where I'll kind of have to let and see where time dictates. If you were to ask me prior, I probably would have said no, just because The Incredibles never had the effect. I mean, was working actually in an Incredibles event type deal, and I was talking to people who were really excited about the movie, and most of them were adults, but they were very, very excited, where I didn't have that, right? Like, the announcement of that didn't draw me in.
Oh my god.
Yeah, you know, there's that great video right now going around Facebook. Have you seen it? There's this little boy who's opening the theater door to walk in to see Incredibles, and his dad comes fully dressed and pushes him out the way so he could get in and see. But no, I
didn't
think
see that. That's awesome though.
seeing all the superhero stuff now, and then watching the Incredibles, and them being able to make something fresh and different, yet something that I think everyone in the whole family can kind of enjoy, still just proves that Pixar has its charm. I don't think it's as good as most of their more original work. I don't think people will like it maybe as much as Coco. I'm interested to see if people will like it more than the first film, but overall I think you have a solid addition. Yeah, probably one of the better sequels for sure.
And not a bad way to continue the summer.
Yeah, not at all.
Because we're about to continue it again, my brother, in 7 days.
When are we gonna learn, man? What was that?
Dinosaur.
Yeah, that's kind of it. That kind of sounded good. We could have done the soundtrack. It's like Swiss Army Man when everything was a cappella, remember?
That movie, dog. That's another subject for another time. Chasing.
Yes, Fallen Kingdom will be next week here at AMC Town Square at 10 p.m.
Bryce Dallas Howard.
Guess what? We're going back to Jurassic World to see what's going on.
We gotta make sure Blue's okay.
Yeah, we're gonna see some interesting stuff. We're gonna see another hybrid of dinosaur, it seems like, from the trailers.
Yep.
Looks like it's going to be a little bit more intense and scary.
Yep.
Than the first one, but third, I guess, first one.
Bayona.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting, and also we have the Grandmaster himself come back, Jeff Goldblum. So we have a lot to look
the
forward to.
shirtless scene. This is like laid out.
Well, we all know one thing, that life finds a way, as he so poignantly points out in the first film,
And will
Park,
again
and
to
in the
us
trailer.
This one.
Yeah, I have a feeling that's not going to be in the movie.
They just cut it.
Yeah. I think that's just a good trailer spot. But anyway, I don't know. I am excited to see it. I know we both enjoyed Jurassic World, and I hope to see you here at AMC Town Square at 10 o'clock next Thursday.
All right, ChasingCinema.com is known as
The Film Lovers website.